Okay, everyone, good morning. My name is Angela Lucero, and I am the judge that will be presiding over the case that we're here for today, and we are officially on the record. We are here in the matter of Joanne Denzer versus TriMet, and that's Multnomah County case number 19 CV 19250. And first and foremost, I want to thank all of you for joining us this morning, for accepting your summons, and for agreeing to serve as potentially as a juror in this remote system. I know this is a lot different for those of you who have served as jurors in the past. This is a lot different than anything you probably have ever gone through. So thank you for agreeing to participate in this platform. There are 19 jurors. We're going to do this in two different panels just due to the limited ability to get everybody on one screen. So we will do this first panel will be of 19, and we plan to do one more panel of 20. And so we're going to do a little bit of high-tech and low-tech technology. So if everyone can hear me, if you can give me a thumbs up. Okay, I think I see everyone. Okay, and I know that there's one juror without a camera, so we will address that in a moment. And then for the record, I want to go ahead and have the attorneys introduce themselves and put their presence here on the record. So let's start with the plaintiff.
This is James Buchel, appearing for plaintiff Joanne Denzer.
Great.
This is Sarah Ewing, appearing for TriMet.
Good morning, Mike Shin, also appearing for TriMet.
Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of a heads up on how we're going to handle this morning, this will be our second virtual trial that we've had in Multnomah County, but my first virtual trial. So, you know, luckily there has been a process that was put forth before me that we will be following today. But this is new. So there is bound to be some bumps along the way as we work through this virtual trial. This is a different system for all of us, including you. And so I thank you for being willing to participate. If at any point you are having difficulty hearing anyone, if you can there is going to be a help button. We're going to walk through some of these WebEx technology stuff in a moment. I have a PowerPoint that I'll walk through with you. So some of you may be really facile on using either Zoom or WebEx or any other platform. So this may be a little bit boring or repetitive for you, but there will be others that maybe have not used the WebEx platform. And so I intend to go through some very basic stuff that will help us get through the jury selection process. And then if you're selected as a juror, this trial is expected to last no more than 2 days. We will start the trial tomorrow. So that means the trial would start tomorrow. It'd be Tuesday and Wednesday. Today you are here for just the jury selection, which I intend for you guys to be here no more than 2 to 3 hours. And then you will be dismissed, and you will receive an email later on this afternoon letting you know whether you have been selected as a juror or that you are released for the remainder of the week. Okay, so that's kind of how we're going to do this. So let me go ahead. If you can make me a presenter, Ms. Mile, my clerk. I guess the first thing I would say is my clerk here, you may see her from time to time pop in. There is also a lot of other court staff that are helping make this possible behind the scenes. And so I just want to take a moment to acknowledge all of their hard work and efforts that have gone into making today possible. But there are a lot of people that are helping us behind the scenes, so if something does go wrong. So Ms. Mile, if you could pass me the presenter baton. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go through some just technical matters with regards to WebEx. Can everyone see the screen okay? Okay. Okay, so first thing, as I indicated earlier, while we are kind of using this new technology, and this is considered very high tech that we are having a jury trial from everyone's homes, we will be using some low tech technology at times. So the thumbs up and thumbs down may be easier for some, and so we will probably revert to using that more than you expect. Just like any other court proceeding, this proceeding is being recorded, but you are not permitted to record either video or audio recording of this. This is to be done only by court staff. You are not permitted to take any photographs of your screen or capture in any way the audio or video of this proceeding. Okay. The do's and don'ts. So please do not do any independent research regarding anything that you hear in this trial, especially if you're selected as a juror. Once you're released, you can do any research that you would like, but you are to treat this process as if you were sitting here in the jury room or in the courtroom with me today. You are not permitted to talk with anyone about the details of this case until you have been officially dismissed as a juror. So those of you who are selected to serve on this jury are not permitted to talk with anyone about the details of this case until it has concluded and the jury has reached a verdict. The difference that this virtual trial brings is the fact that you are in your own homes. And so we ask that you try and limit any distractions that you would have in your home. And we ask that you turn off all of your devices, obviously except the device that you are using to participate in this proceeding today. We also ask that you refrain from doing any form of multitasking and treat this as if you were, again, here in the courtroom. You are going to be required to keep your video on at all times, and you are going to be required to keep your microphone muted at all times unless you are asked to speak. And this is just to make the record as clean as possible. So how to mute and unmute. In WebEx, you will see when you are talking, there is a green mute button as you are seeing on the screen on the left. That means that we can hear you. Most of the times you want your microphone to look like the button on the right in red, and this means that you are on mute. Okay, so most of the time, unless you are being directly asked a question, you want to have your microphone on mute. There is a shortcut to the muting process. So if the last thing you did was put your microphone on mute, if you hit the space bar, it will unmute you. So it will do the last task that you just did. So if you want to use that as a shortcut, you are welcome to do that. So you want to keep your computer audio on so that you can always hear the proceedings, and you want to keep your screen on at all times so that you can see the proceedings. Okay, so during this jury selection process, we are going to ask that you change the layout on your screen. And so once I stop screen sharing with you all, then you can walk through and do this. I don't think you can change it while I'm sharing this with you. But on the upper right-hand corner of your screen is a layout button, and it looks like this, the first blue arrow here. And so what you want to do is you are probably in grid mode, meaning you can see every little box that of a participant that is here today. You want to go ahead and change that grid box to stage view. And this will allow you to have an up-close view of the speaker. You can either choose stage or focus view. It's recommended that you do stage, but either of those two will work. You want to take it out of that grid mode. In addition to changing that layout, the other thing in the same location, you will also want to hide participants that do not have a video. So as I indicated earlier, there is a lot of court staff that are helping to make this possible today, and they have their cameras turned off. And so you will want to go ahead and hide those videos that don't have their camera on so that you can limit the pictures in your screen to only those individuals with a camera. Okay, so just like any other court proceeding, this court proceeding is audio recorded. That is the way that we keep the official record of any trial. In addition to this audio recording, we are also video recording this proceeding for training purposes. Like I indicated earlier, this is only the second virtual trial that we have had. And so we are recording these so that judges can use this as a training, as well as other attorneys who are considering going through this virtual process. And so knowing that it's being recorded only for training purposes, video recorded, does anyone have any concerns with that at this point? And you can unmute your microphone and let me know if anyone has any problems with that. Okay. And then the last thing that I'm going to ask your permission on is, since we normally would have 40 jurors in my courtroom during this entire jury selection process, but because of COVID, the ongoing pandemic, and social distancing, we obviously, the parties have opted for this virtual trial. But because of the limits on how many participants can be viewed on a screen at one time, we had to break the panels up into 2 panels. So one of the requests that I'm going to ask of you is whether anyone has any problems with me taking a snapshot of the screen so I can take a photo of all of the jurors, and this will just help me and potentially the parties refresh our recollection when we're discussing jury selection after the second panel. So is there anyone that would have any problems with me taking a snapshot of the grid of all the jurors? And you can unmute and indicate that now. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so we are going to do a, before we proceed with the questions, we are going to do a short little audio check, which means I am going to end up calling out each individual juror and have you unmute your line and introduce yourself and maybe tell us something that is your favorite, either a favorite TV show, a sports team, a band, food, etc. We just want to be able to ask you enough questions so that we can test your audio. So I'm going to stop sharing so I can see all of you again. Okay, so before I go to that, does anyone, while I screen share, I can't see all of your lovely faces. Did anyone have any problems with the fact that it is being video recorded for training purposes only? If you do, just kind of raise your hand. No. And does anyone have any strong feelings about me just taking a quick snapshot of the grid just so that I can use it later during selection process? Anyone? Okay. So I'm going to do that really quickly. Okay. All right, so we're going to do a small audio check. So if I can have juror 55, and I will, Carrie, unmute yourself.
Yes, it's Kari.
Kari, sorry, I apologize for that. If you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself.